Do this and make $10,000 a month advertising on Zillow. I just did a video a couple weeks ago on how Zillow ads turned negative ROI, and I got a lot of comments and feedback that throughout North America, Zillow got saturated. They were selling you really, really expensive leads and you weren't making money on them. So people are starting to drop off Zillow, right? They're obviously noticing that the deals aren't coming in for their ad spend. So they're dropping off. And when people drop off of Zillow, that's where opportunity is going to come in, because Zillow's going to have to lower their budgets, their cost per lead, to get the agents to buy in on these 6-month, 12-month contracts. So I'm going to show you how I'm looking at Zillow, how I'm calculating the cost, calculating the lead flow, so that you can make $10,000 a month advertising on Zillow. And I'm not talking like $10,000, you spend $10,000 and you get $10,000 back. I'm saying you spend $10,000 and you get $10,000 more, like there's an ROI on it. So I dove into one of my zip codes, 98801. It's Wenatchee, Washington. I looked it up. I have the numbers, and let's break it down. So step number 1, find out what the voice is available, what the cost is, what your budget is per month. And so 98801 right now, I can get 50% share of voice for $3,800. So it's $3,800 a month, right? And so part of step 1 that most agents don't calculate is they just look at it on a month-to-month basis. You can't look at leads that way. You got to know that the cash conversion cycle, so cash conversion meaning if I spend $3,800, how long until I get it back? Well, I'm here to tell you, Zillow, you spend $3,800, you're not going to get that $3,800 back for probably 6 months, right? That means you're going to have to be spending $3,800 for 6 months minimum. For my calculations, you gotta look at it as a year. You gotta look at it 12 months. So take that $3,800 and times it by 12. For me, that's $45,600 I have to have in my bank account, or know that I'm gonna be closing deals in the future that's gonna get me some cash so I can pay my Zillow bill. That's $4,500, that's your expense. Step 2, calculate how many leads you're gonna get over that year, right? So I'm looking at Zillow right now, and for my $3,800 budget, they're saying 5 connections and 5 additional leads. Let's break that down. What does Zillow mean when they say connections? Well, 5 connections is when on the Zillow Premier Agent app, they'll lead, someone's on the website and they have a question about a property, they want to see it. They connect it with you live. So you got to know this. If it's saying 5 connections, that means they're expecting you to answer the phone. So if you're not going to answer the phone, you're going to be spending money, and you're definitely not going to make money. So you got to be committed to answering the phone. And you don't know when these leads are going to come in. I'm just here to tell you, after advertising on Zillow for a decade, these leads are going to come in 5, 6, 7 o'clock at night. They're going to come in on the weekends. So don't even buy them if you're not willing to answer it in the evenings or on the weekends, or your team is available on the evenings or the weekends, or your ISAs are available on the evenings or weekends. So for me, $3,800, I'm going to get 10 connections and 10 leads, okay? So over the year, I'm looking at step 2, I'm going to get 120 leads over the whole year. So I'm going to spend $45,000 to get 120 leads. Okay, cool. What do I do next? Step 3. I need to figure out, how much do I make per deal? How much do I make per deal? As a team leader, broker, owner, I have to pay the other agent, right, on my team. So let's say I make $12,000, I figured it out, $500,000 price point, 2.5% commissions. I make $12,500 per deal, but I got to pay half of that to the agent. Now, if you're an agent, you got to pay a percentage of that deal to your broker because you're on a split. So figure that out. For me, in this scenario, I make $6,200 per deal, right? So $6,200 per deal. Now I know it's going to cost me $45,000. I'm going to make $6,200 per deal. So step 4, figure out how much you want to make. Like, figure out what your return, the profit you want to make is. So if I'm spending $3,800 a month and I want to make $10,000 a month on Zillow, I need to be making $13,800 a month every single month, right? So now I know that, right? And so I can times that by 12 and then divide it by how many deals. And so I did the math for you guys. So if I need to do 13,800 a month, $6,200 a month per deal, I need to sell 2 a month. I need to sell 24 deals to make $10,000 a month in this scenario. So step 5 is take the 24 deals, the number of deals you need to close to make $10,000 a month, and divide it by your leads. So I'm going to get 120 leads. I need to sell 24 deals. So I'm going to do the math for you right now and figure out what my conversion rate is. What does my conversion rate need to be to make this happen? Because I want to make $10,000 profit per month. 24 deals divided by 120. My conversion rate needs to be 20% to make $10,000. 20%. Okay, I've been doing this for 10 years. I've answered Zillow calls. My team crushes Zillow calls. You're not going to convert over 10%. Now, yeah, maybe the market's hot. It's gangbusters, right? And everyone wants to buy a home. Maybe you're going to do 1 out of 5 leads. Probably not. The rule of thumb is 10%. So I'm just not going to make $10,000 a month on Zillow at the current prices, right? I'm just not going to get enough leads. So if your conversion rate is required more than 10%, you're not going to do it. You're gambling. You're like going to Vegas hoping you're going to get lucky. It's a bad move. Now, however, you run the numbers and it's less than that, it's less than 10%, buy, right? Buy. And then go through the other zip codes as long as you can service it and answer the phone calls and you got the team. Buy those zip codes. 10% and under, buy them up. And then you can 10x that $10,000 a month and do $100,000 a month. And there's teams that have done it, right? So get into Zillow, check out your zip codes, run the numbers, know your numbers, and you can make $10,000 in profit. I'm not there yet. I'm not going back in, but I'm on the sidelines watching it. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, let me know what you think. There's many more videos. I also have a weekly newsletter, so go to McLean Coaching, sign up for the newsletter, and every single week you're gonna get new links to the new videos we shoot, the new content, and so much more. Hit the subscribe button, you guys. Tell me what you think.